Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestlers Way and to Forbidden Door out of 10. Yes, the highly anticipated AEW and New Japan Super Show we've all been looking forward to. And yeah, it turns out on the night it really delivered. Some may have been critical of the bill, but on the night it really delivered, I think. I'm not going to go through all the buy-in matches because I'd probably be here all day. But yeah, I'll post the results later on my Twitter. But let's just get straight into the main card. And we started off with the Sex Gods and Minoru Suzuki versus Wheeler Yuta, Shota Umino and Eddie Kingston. The crowd were hot for this match from the start. Early on we had Eddie Kingston and Suzuki trading strikes. Umino impressed in this match, taking the fight to Guevara and Jericho as well. Guevara then wiped Umino out with a shooting star press from the top floor out to the floor. Yuta then caught Sammy with a dive. It looks like Suzuki was about to dive, but it turned out to be a feint. Kingston had Guevara in a submission hold, but was broken up by Suzuki. Umino and Jericho were in the middle of the ring after this, as the Japanese star ate a codebreaker but kicked out of two. Umino then hit back with an avalanche powerbomb, with a subsequent pin broken up by Suzuki. Umino looked to be in control, but Guevara caught him with a belt shot at ringside. Umino then locked in the walls of Jericho briefly and didn't let go despite being super kicked by Sammy Guevara, but Suzuki dropped him with a headbutt. Jericho then hit Umino with the Judas effect for the W. And yeah, like I said, a really fun match to kick off the show. Gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I think this was probably the right result with the Sex Gods reuniting. And obviously we got some more stuff later on with the build to Forbidden Door. But yeah, for an opening match, this was good fun. 7 out of 10. FTR then took on United Empire and Roppongi Vice at Forbidden Door. Dax Harwood and Great O'Khan started things off. Unfortunately, Harwood went off injured early in the match. Jeff Cobb dominated for a while, but Roppongi Vice got back in the match thanks to a resurgent trend. United Empire got back in the match and were working over Cash Wheeler. Harwood walked back after this to a massive pop, clearing house. Harwood then hit Cobb with the triangle German suplex. Trent and Harwood then suplexed Jeff Cobb. Wheeler then hit a frog splash for a near fall. Roppongi Vice dominated briefly until FTR hit a big rig out of nowhere to pick up the win, and FTR are now both ROH and IWGP Tag Team Champions. And yeah, FTR's dominant streak in the top of multiple tag divisions continued. And yeah, this was really good from the injuries coming back. And yeah, just the match itself, good stuff. 7 out of 10. And yeah, can't wait to see what FTR do with the belts. Before it's time for the first ever All Atlantic tournament, Miro versus Pac versus Black versus Connors. Pac went right after Black as soon as the bell rang. The ball then spilled out to ringside while Miro went after Connors inside the ring. Miro wiped out Connors and dragged him out to ringside while Pac and Black went back inside the ring. Miro then got back in the ring, Pac with a fall-away slam. Connors went for a crossbody, but Miro caught him and planted him. Miro and Black then turned their focus to Pac, taking out their frustration on him, stomping him. Things broke down after this as Malachi Black hit Pac with a knee strike. Miro then went back after Connors. He hit Black with a German suplex. Black then headed to the ring and set up a table. He tried to send Pac through it, but it was blocked. Connor ended up spearing Miro through the table. Back in the ring, Miro hit the game over. Locked in on Pac, but Black split the Blacklist in his face. Black then tried to lock in submission on Connors, but Pac hit a 450 splash on Black. Pac then locked in a brutalizer on Connors to win the All Atlantic Championship. And yeah, personally I didn't see Pac winning it. I thought Miro would win it, but not against it at all. I'm not a massive fan of this title, to be honest. I think it is unnecessary, but you know, I'm going to give Pac a chance with the belt because yeah, I think he could be really great with it. But yeah, in terms of the match itself, it was decent stuff as well. Gets 7 out of 10 from me. It was then the Bullet Club versus Dudes with Attitude, which was changed at the last minute to Shingo, Darby and Takagi versus Young Bucks and El Phantasmo. The lights went out as the Bucks and El Phantasmo were making their entrance along with Hikuleo at the window. When the lights came back on, Sting wiped everyone out with a dive. Darby quickly arrived at the scene to take out Hikuleo with his skateboard. When the match started, the Bucks and El Phantasmo dominated and traded tags, isolating Allen. Sting got the babyfaces back in the match with an epic comeback. He then got hit by a double super kick by the Bucks. Instead of going down, he hit a double clothesline. El Phantasmo with some big moves after this, including a rope walk moonsault to the outside. The Bucks then went to hit Sting with the BTE trigger but missed. Sting then made a small botch and missed a spot, but Shingo then hit the last of the Dragon Swell Phantasmo for the W. And yeah, even that small botch aside, I still think it was really good. Sting just amazes me for what he does at his age. But yeah, on the whole, it's still really good. So it gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Thunder Rosa then took on Tony Storm. The match started with back and forth at Forbidden Door. Tony Storm got a reference in early, but both were in traded shots. Storm was then on top early on. Thunder Rosa then hit a double knee, followed by a Death Valley driver on the apron. Back in the ring, Tony hit a hip attack in the corner. Thunder Rosa then hit back with a Fire Thunder driver. Tony Storm kicked out. The finish of the match saw Tony Storm go for the Storm Zero, but Thunder Rosa blocked it. Rosa then hit the Final Reckoning. The move meant to Dustin Rhodes to pick up the W. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought it was a really good match. Yeah, yeah, didn't quite steal the show or anything like that, but still a good match between two of the best wrestlers in the women's division. Thunder Rosa's title run, I still think it has some legs to run, so yeah, for me the victor was the right as well. Before we got Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy for the IWGP United States Championship. Cassidy posed with Ospreay early on in the match, but it was all Ospreay in the opening stages. Out at ringside, he hit a running dropkick. Back in the ring, Ospreay got some more offense in, including a spinning backbreaker. It was all Ospreay as he set up for the hidden blade. Instead, Ospreay sets on Orange Cassidy's neck. Orange got back to his feet and powered out, getting back in the match. It was all Orange Cassidy as he took the fight to Ospreay. Orange then tried to play possum at one point. Ospreay went for a moonsault but landed on his feet before nailing the move. The finish saw Orange kick out of the Oz Cutter and a hidden blade. Ospreay then hit the Stormbreaker for the W. After the match, Fletcher and Davis continued to beat down Cassidy. Ravongi Vice then tried to come out and make the save, but they were sent packing. Sahabita then came out and cleared the ring, so obviously he's out in the next few for Ospreay, I reckon. But yeah, on the whole, this was for me the match I liked at that point. Really good match between great wrestlers, great storytelling as well. Yeah, there wasn't much not to like here. 8 out of 10 from me. Zack Sabre Jr. was then out for his mystery opponent, which was revealed to be Claudio Castagnoli, formerly known as Cesaro, of course. And yeah, he went right after Zack Sabre Jr. as soon as the bell rang, hitting a running elbow. He then hit the neutralizer for an immediate near fall. The match built out to ringside where Claudio hit another running elbow strike. Back in the ring, Claudio hit a stalling vertical suplex. Zack Sabre Jr. then locked in a couple of knee bars against the ropes. It was all Zack after this as he broke down Claudio limb by limb. Claudio got back in it with a running elbow strike in the corner. Back out at ringside, Zack tried to lock in the armbar, but Claudio deadlifted him and carried him up the steps before powerbombing him into the ring. More running uppercuts from Claudio until he missed one in the corner then, and Zack Sabre Jr. hit one of his own. Claudio then took ZSJ down with an elbow strike. Claudio went to lock in the sharpshooter, but Zack bounced into a knee bar. Claudio powerbombed again and briefly locked in the sharpshooter before hitting a double stomp for a 2 count, but Sabre Jr. fought back with more kicks before Claudio had elevated a uppercut followed by a clothesline. He then hit a powerbomb to pick up the win and to round off an impressive debut in AEW. And yeah, I mean, like, of course this was a great match. Cesaro and Zack Sabre Jr., how could it not be? And yeah, for me, definitely the right result to have Claudio winning on debut as well. And yeah, for the debut, huge pop and definitely the right decision. I can't wait to see what he does in Blood and Guts this Wednesday. So yeah, this was just brilliant on the whole. 8 out of 10. It was then time for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match between Jay White, Kazuchika Okada, Adam Cole and Hangman Page. White got rocked on early on by Okada and Page at Forbidden Door. White and Cole then schemed at ringside about working together. White planted Okada's face on the apron, briefly taking him out. Page and Cole traded shots, with Page coming off the better. Out at ringside, Okada hit a running crossbody before going over the barricade. Back in the ring, Cole turned on Jay White and hit him with a backstabber. Things broke down soon after this, with all 4 men hitting each other with everything they had going down the heap. All 4 men continued to lay into each other once they got back on their feet. Hangman Page took control of the match, taking out Okada and Cole before hitting Jay White with a powerbomb for a 2 count. Hangman went to set up the buckshot lariat, but Cole caught his foot. Hangman ended up hitting a moonsault out to ringside. He then went for the buckshot again, but Gato caught his foot. Page took out Jado and hit White with a dead die before finally connecting with the buckshot lariat. Okada broke out the ensuing cover before Okada and Hangman traded strikes. Page ducked the Rainmaker's clothesline, the Deadeye. Page went for the buckshot again, but Cole took him out. Okada then hit Cole with an air raid crash on the knees. Okada hit a flying elbow drop from the top rope after that and went to hit Hangman Page with the Rainmaker, but Cole hit both men with super kicks. Okada hit back once more with one of his trademark drop kicks. White came in and hit Okada with a Brave Runner before pinning Adam Cole for the W. And yeah, this was just a brilliant match from start to finish. Yeah, having 2 of New Japan and 2 of AEW's top superstars going out like that was brilliant. Yeah, I think that's kind of expected. There will be no title change considering White's only just won it. But still on the whole, this was just an absolutely brilliant match and gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Moxie then took on Hiroshi Tanahashi in the main event. Tanahashi used his years of experience to take control of the match early on. Tanahashi hit the Dragon Screw in an attempt to ground Moxley and continued to work on his knee. Moxley then hit back with a suplex off the top rope. Tanahashi hit back with more strikes before heading for a top rope to hit the top rope and hitting a Somerset Senton for a 2 count. The action spilled out to the ringside. Moxley cleared the announcer's table and hit Tanahashi with a Uranogi. For Tanahashi barely managed to beat the count as he rolled into the ring. Moxley then greeted Japanese legend with a series of stiff kicks. Moxley tried to lock in an armbar, but Tanahashi broke free and hit the Sinbo. Moxie was busted open at this point, and Tanahashi hit a flying crossbody off the top rope. Back in the ring, Tanahashi headed out of the top rope and hit another crossbody. Back on the top rope, Tanahashi hit the high fly flow for a near fall. Moxie transitioned into the bulldog choke to pick up the win, but Tanahashi briefly broke free and hit back with a stiff slap across the face. Moxie came back with a lariat, but Tanahashi kicked out of one. Moxie laid in with the elbows strikes before locking another chokehold. Moxie then locked in the bulldog choke again, but Tanahashi powered back to his feet and fans chanted "Go Ace." Moxie then hit the Death Rider to finally pin Tanahashi and win the interim championship. Post-match there was lots of chaos when Jericho and Garcia came out and attacked Moxie and Tanahashi. After the match, Kingston came out next, followed by the rest of the people involved at Blood and Guts, with Claudio Castagnoli finally coming out just to build up to that match. And yeah, on the whole, this was a really, really good ending to Forbidden Door. Brilliant match, and then the chaos afterwards giving us a much needed build to Blood and Guts. But yeah, just in terms of the match itself, I think we all knew it's Moxie going, but there was still enough there to kind of bite on some near falls and stuff like that. But yeah, of course, it was a great match between those two brilliant wrestlers. So 8 out of 10 from me. Overall, Forbidden Door gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Yeah, on the whole, it was just a really, really brilliant show. Yeah, some great matches throughout it. For me, lots of great results and some intriguing storylines coming off the back of it. And yeah, I think the first half was good, but the second half just kind of took it to the next level, which is really, really great to see. Some of the matches at the end were just absolute bangers. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, don't forget to comments down below, inform us, and subscribe for daily F1 news, and subscribe to my channel, screaming, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!